Hello Mr. Primo Gems and welcome to my 5.1 Argon Quest prediction video. I made a video on predicting 5.0 stuff and I was kind of right about Mavica and Capitano fight being interrupted. Mavica did overpowered Capitano but fight was interrupted by Ororon. So now we're gonna predict other stuff as well. So basically the trailer starts with Citlali doubting Mavica plan. You know the Mavica plan of 500 years which require all 6 heroes to awaken? Yeah, so trailer starts with Citlali doubting Mavica plan just like Capitano. We'll talk about this thing later why Citlali might be doubting Mavica plan. Let's talk about Capitano first because in the trailer Capitano is talking to Mavica as if he knows Mavica for a good time. Now here's my first theory comes in. So Capitano is one of the 6 chosen heroes from 500 years ago. You know, like there's Kirich, Molani, Shilon and Yansa. They are the current generation chosen hero. They have the same ancient name as the heroes from 500 years ago. Like we see Molani talking to Tupac in the Arkan quest. So Molani is now an awakened hero. So Mavica want this to happen to all 6 heroes. Then she can use her plan, which we don't know what it is, but we know she need all 6 awakened heroes. My theory is that Capitano is one of the original 6 heroes from 500 years ago, but other 5 heroes died and passed down the responsibility to the next generation, while Capitano didn't do that. Capitano didn't trust Mavica plan, so he lived through all these 500 years ago trying to find a different route, a different plan, a different way to save Nateland, which also means Capitano is a good guy and he wants to save Nateland, but his ways are different compared to Mavica. In the trailer, we can see Mavica saying that without Night Kingdom and protection from the spirit, the nation wouldn't survive. And Capitano says humanity survival should come at any cost. So I feel like Capitano plan is a bit more rough, while Mavica plan is save everyone. We have to save everyone. Maybe his plan have like higher chances of successing or something like that, because then only then would make sense to take risk if you have higher chance of succession. Capitano being the chosen hero from Ministry of the Night will also make sense why Citlali is doubting Mavica plan, because Capitano is from Ministry of the Night and he is doubting Mavica plan. Citlali is from Ministry of the Night and she is also doubting Mavica plan. So maybe Ministry of the Night dudes in general know something else and they are doubting Mavica plan. And there is also Ororon who will be in this Arkan quest. So Citlali in the trailer is saying that Ororon is being threatened. As we all know, Ororon is working with Capitano, so everyone gonna see Ororon as a traitor. Citlali is defending Ororon in the trailer that he might have been threatened. We can also see Capitano in the trailer saying, once you know what Mavica is hiding from you, you will rethink my offer. So most likely Capitano didn't threaten Ororon, he just told him some extra secret. Ororon is not betraying, he wanna save Nateland but with Capitano way. He doesn't wanna go Mavica's way. In the trailer, Mavica says, I will try to stall Capitano. If these two characters clashed, they would again hype the fuck out of this thing in the trailer. So I think they will just have a talk, because in trailer Capitano is talking to Mavica, and in the trailer Capitano says, if I could go back I would save someone. Don't you feel it that way too, Mavica? So he's talking it like he was in the past with Mavica somewhere, and we all know Mavica was there 500 years ago, so it would make sense for Capitano to be also there 500 years ago, and maybe that's why he's also hiding his face, so Mavica doesn't recognize him as from one of the heroes from 500 years ago. So yeah, there's just too many stuff. He wants to save Nateland and he's talking to Mavica as if he knows her. He also knows about the plan. No one else knows about the plan except for the chosen hero and Mavica. He talks about the plan as if he knows what the plan is about. So it's just too much stuff. And yeah, no Columbina. You all hyped it for no fucking reason. Columbina gonna be there. She's not in the trailer. So yeah, that was it for my Capitano theory of that he's a hero from 500 years ago. Now let's talk about the biggest thing we got in the trailer was Citlali talking about Mavica death. So Citlali says Nateland can only be saved after Mavica death. Only then the debt can be repaid. So this is the resurrection stuff I've been talking about since my early video, that Nateland will have the resurrection, and I think Mavica will die but she will be resurrected. Like I said, there's just too much resurrection stuff. It just wouldn't make sense if Pyro Archon doesn't resurrect. Again, there's a big chance she won't die at all. Maybe she's about to die, someone will save her, or she will die and she will get resurrected. And again, they can use Mavica dying as a plot to give Pyro Sovereign his authority back. So Mavica can die, Pyro Sovereign will get his authority, and then Mavica can get resurrected and Mavica will live and Pyro Sovereign will get his authority. Speaking of Pyro Sovereign, there's just no signs of him in the trailer at all. We don't even see any new character except for obviously Shilon and Citlali. All the other characters are not new. So I don't know if Pyro Sovereign will be in the Archer quest. Did you hear about Pyro Sovereign in the World quest? They're implying Stage of Stolen Flame. If you do the World quest, you would know who Stage of Stolen Flame is. They're implying that Stage of Stolen Flame is actually Pyro Sovereign, and he had good connection with first Pyro Archon. I also have a theory of first Pyro Archon being the Pyro Sovereign, but yeah, I don't know if that will happen. So this Sage of Stolen Flame dude is the Pyro Sovereign, and we don't see anything. Maybe even if we were to meet Pyro Sovereign, we might meet him in his dragon form like Ape, and he won't be playable at all. But yeah, let's say it 1 in a billion chance they actually kill Mavica, remove her from story, then they better give us Pyro Sovereign, because someone need to have the Pyro Authority, right? If Mavica dies, who will inherit the Pyro Authority? Speaking of Pyro Authority, I also have prediction for Pyro Traveler. Also, we got animation for Genshin 4-year anniversary, in which Ether is fighting alone in Night Kingdom. What is going on? Why is he fighting all alone? Is it just for the sake of animation, or does it have actual plot importance? Like, why is he fighting all alone in the Night Kingdom? And that video ends with Traveler smiling and fire appearing. Now the obvious answer is that Mavica came to fight alongside Ether, or maybe Mavica have regained her power, that's why Ether is smiling, or it's Pyro Traveler teaser that Ether is about to get his pyro abilities. Maybe it's the teaser for that. So yeah, my theory for Pyro Traveler is pretty simple. The reason Ether can't get his Pyro Authority because Mavica is not a god, she's a human who has an Archon throne. So she's a human who is an Archon, but she's not a god. That's why Ether can't get his Pyro ability. So my theory for Pyro Traveler is that Mavica will die and Ether will get Pyro Authority to fight against the main villain. Again, main villain could be anyone. Highly doubtful it's going to be Capitano, but it could be him, or it could be a beast like Aldivar or Narwhal or Azdaha or something, or like Ape or something like that. But yeah, Ether can use Pyro Authority to fight against the main villain, and we all know Ether usually get temporary power up, like the 1000 Vision power up against Raiden, Nahida power up against Skara, or Adepti power up against Osael. So Ether gets the temporary power up. So maybe Ether will temporarily hold the Pyro Authority, or he can use the Gnosis. We see the Gnosis in the trailer. Maybe Mavica will give Gnosis to Traveler and he will use Gnosis to fight against villain, and when he will return either Gnosis or Pyro Authority, he will have some Pyro power left in him, which will give us the Pyro Traveler. That would be the only thing which would make sense. Or either Mavica ascend into godhood. I also have this theory because if you talk to the Dr. Livingstone, which is an NPC in Mondstadt, right near the big tree in Mondstadt, she will tell you about Vanessa, the mighty hero of Mondstadt. If you want to know about Vanessa, read the manhwa. So Vanessa was this hero who liberated Mondstadt, and she ascended to Celestia, and she became a god, and she's one of the 4 winds. An NPC who's in the Mondstadt near the big tree also tells us that majority of Celestia gods are actually mighty heroes. And who's a mighty hero than Mavica? She's the biggest hero in Nateland, so it would make sense for her to ascend into godhood. But this theory is very weak because we all know Celestia hasn't answered in 500 years. So why would Celestia answer just to Mavica to ascend into godhood? But that would make sense that Mavica will ascend into godhood and then Ether will get his pyro ability. Him using Gnosis or Pyro Authority makes more sense than Mavica ascending into godhood. And also we haven't saw Ether interact with Gnosis so far. I feel like Ether can use Gnosis way better than anyone. Skara needed a whole ass mecha to use the Raiden Gnosis, but I feel like Ether can use Gnosis better than anyone else because Gnosis are actually 3rd Descender remake. So it would make sense for a Descender to use Gnosis way better than anyone else. So yeah, that was a prediction for 5.1 storyline. Let's rewind all the predictions. The first prediction being Capitano being one of the 6 heroes from 500 years ago. He also has a plan to save Nateland, but his plan is different. He belongs to Ministry of the Night Trap because it would make sense because all 6 heroes represents different element. So Molani's Hydro, Kenichi is Dendro, Shiloran is Geo, Iansan is Electro, Chaska is Anivo, and Capitano will be Cryo, and Mavica will be Pyro. So it would make sense like this. Other prediction being Mavica dying and she will get resurrected. She won't die for real. She will get resurrected, and they can use this plot to also give Pyro Sovereign his authority back. And again, once in a billion chance they kill Mavica, they better give us Pyro Sovereign because we do need a divine character to be playable. I don't think they will make Mavica playable and then kill her. And also my Pyro Traveler theory that Ether will use either the Pyro Authority or Gnosis to fight against the main villain, and then he will return the Authority or Gnosis, but he will have some Pyro power left in him and we will get the Pyro Traveler. Or the weak theory which won't come true at all, but I'm just saying it for the sake of it, that Mavica will ascend into godhood and then Ether will get his pyro powers. That was it. There was some small prediction. If I have some other prediction which I'll come up later, I will comment it under this video. You can just open the comments and read if I have some extra theory. But for now, this is all I have, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.